That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better place. Get my people out the hood, we'll see better days. Tell a fan sorry, I'll let them wait. Shit up there like a Saturday. Listen to me how I beat the speed up like a battle. Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to another edition of KO Sports Talk, where we're going to be talking about free agency rumors and updates so far for this upcoming offseason, guys. It's been a little while since I've done a video so far, and my boy Chuck, he just suggested that we just come on today and talk a little bit more about Chicago Bears news. But guys, thank y'all for joining in. Of course, I am the host, Kofi with KO Sports Talk, and I'm with my co-host, Chuck Full Damage Miller.
What's up?
Full Damage Miller. And yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about some key free agents this upcoming offseason. We're also going to be talking about the draft and possibly doing a mock draft for the 2025 season. Man, we got a lot to talk about. But before we start the video, guys, make sure to like and subscribe and make sure to hit that notification bell so you can get the latest and greatest in regards to Chicago Bears news, and not only Chicago Bears news, but just NBA in general, MLB, all that. We don't only talk Chicago sports, we just talk about sports just in general. Even though I'm still mad about that Luka Doncic video, but that's for another video.
Yeah, bro, that was ridiculous, bro. How they
I'm still mad. I still think. I mean, Chuck, you might not agree with me, but I still think the Mavericks totally fumbled on that. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Chicago Bears news.
Yeah. Let's get on to the Chicago Bears news. We definitely will get back on that.
Chuck, of course, the Super Bowl's over. The Philadelphia Eagles won, and just based off from watching that Super Bowl game, the Philadelphia Eagles just dominated at the line of scrimmage, and just watching that game, I mean, they had four, literally, they were just rushing four guys. They weren't even pressuring the Kansas City Chiefs. And based on they had four dominant pass rushers. And when I was watching that, I was thinking, man, Chicago, at times they had problems, at the first half of the season, they were really good. They were getting to the quarterback, but as the season started to progress, we dealt with some injuries. Montez Sweat was kind of dinged up. You had Andrew Billings, who went down with the injury, and our pass rusher wasn't really effective, but going into this free agency, and of course the offensive line has been a problem, doing with makeshift offensive line. The point of emphasis is the trenches. We got to talk about the trenches. And Chuck, I just kind of wanted to get your input, with the Chicago Bears and what they can do to attack this free agency. We can also talk about some key free agents for this upcoming offseason and who we could possibly pick for this free agency and even for the draft as well.
Definitely. Welcome out there, KO Sports Talk Land. I am Chuck Full Damage One. I am the biggest Bears fan that you know, and welcome to another edition of KO Sports Talk. Welcome to another edition. Yeah, Cole. There's some. I think that there is some key outstanding pieces that the Bears need to add in this offseason. And for me, people, it's about priority. It's about prioritizing our draft picks and our free agents this year to centralize them on what we have the most prescient needs in. And to me, Cole, nothing is more prescient a need for the Chicago Bears. You were speaking about the trenches, and watching how Philadelphia was dominating the trenches in the Super Bowl, not even having to send one blitz at Patrick Mahomes and accomplishing 6-7 sacks in the Super Bowl, something that's unheard of.
6-7 sacks on them.
Right. To me, the most pressing thing we got is the trenches of the offensive line. We have got to stockpile offensive linemen left and right. And I'm telling you, there are no bigger offensive free agents in my viewpoint, in my line of sight, than Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs and Mekhi Becton from the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe these two dudes who are big behemoths of some men could be stalwarts in helping stabilize this offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only thing, people, that we need to go after, but I think that definitely is A1 from day one for the Bears. If we are going to build, if Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles and company are planning on building a championship caliber team, you gotta get the trenches tight. And even and let's think about what we just saw. You mentioned the Super Bowl, Cole. Let's think about what we just saw. We just saw a Kansas City Chiefs team who was 15-2 on the season, who really could have easily been 16-1 if they had played the starters against the playoff bound Broncos. It could have easily been 16-1, get decimated and dominated in the trenches up front.
At the line of scrimmage.
By the Philadelphia Eagles front four. If that doesn't tell you, people, how important and how invaluable it is to have those beefy dudes up front blocking and doing it well, then nothing will. Grits ain't groceries. If that can't tell you,
Howie Grossman is great.
Yeah,
he's done great for that team.
Think about the success that the Philadelphia Eagles have had since Jalen Hurts has been there. Where's the success been mostly highly touted? It's been highly touted in the trenches. Everything is about the offensive line. It's about the center. It's about the left guard, the right guard, the left tackle, the right tackle. Nose guards and all of these people. It's about what is done in the trenches. And people, if you want to see Caleb Williams be successful in this town, you got to get the offensive line stout. It's got to be a beast. And let me give you guys a tidbit of history. Whenever the Chicago Bears have had a top tier, let's say top 5 and up offensive line, we've always made deep playoff runs. If the Bears want to get back to playoff glory and want to get back to an opportunity to contend for a championship, we got to go trenches. So Trey Smith, high on my list. Mekhi Becton is high on my list. But also know this, Go, it's not just one Philadelphia Eagle offensive lineman that's facing free agency, but there's going to be 4 of them. Count them, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The four of the was that the 6 guys, 5 guys, how many be on the line?
Yep, 4. Zach Bond, Josh Sweat, and I think
Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, Mekhi Becton and Milton Williams.
Right. Think about how powerful, how dominant that offensive line was this year. You talking about the offensive line that helped Saquon Barkley achieve something that man was never going to be.
He's the only 8th person to rush for over 2,000 yards, the eighth running back in history.
In the history of the NFL. And why was he able to do that? Because he had a wall of an offensive line to run behind.
And Chuck, I don't know if you remember, when we watched the Super Bowl, I don't know if you saw in the graphic, the average size of the offensive line was at least, and that Eagles offensive line was at least 6'6" or above, and it had to weigh at least 320 pounds. That whole line was like bunch of big dudes.
People, that is monstrous. 6'6", 250. Good luck penetrating that wall.
320.
320, you said? 320?
320 pounds.
Yeah, 6'6", 320. Good luck penetrating that wall. That is what you need in front of your quarterback if you want him to be successful. And let's think about it for what it's worth, people. We've seen Jalen Hurts' skill set. I think Jalen Hurts has a pretty game. I don't see any ugliness in the gameplay of Jalen Hurts, but it's very limited. Jalen Hurts is a 1-2 read type of quarterback, and then he breaks out and he runs. That is perfectly fine when you got a stalwart of an offensive line up in front of you. You said, what's up, A.O. Mills? He said, I'm 6'5", 340. Let me go get this checked. Okay.
Oh, really? Mills, you really that big? Okay.
Brother, come on to the Bears. We need you.
Hey, we need you, man. You got the size, bro.
Here, bro. Yes,
as long as you're strong, you got a good anchor, yeah.
Yes, sir. And to have a wall like that to stand behind would allow a quarterback to shine like nobody's business, man. Even if he's not the greatest quarterback, Jalen Hurts is not the best passer in the world. He throws a pretty deep ball, but that's about it in terms of his throwing. He doesn't really have a lot of shine and
he's kind of limited.
Yeah. But he's so efficient until his game looks flawless at times, bro. The way he flows. Why? Because he got all the time in the world to do it. He got that wall of an offensive line in front of him.
You know, that tush push. Whew, man.
Oh, the tush push, man. That's world renowned famous. That is the equivalent now to the peanut punch, bro. The tush push and the peanut punch, they kind of synonymous. They go hand in hand with great things invented in the game by players. Tush push was invented by that offensive line and Jalen Hurts over there in Philadelphia. And the peanut punch, of course, my guy, Peanut Tillman, big dog right here. Yeah. But my point is that we have got to stockpile this offensive line. And we're not just talking about one or two guys, people. We need to keep doing this over and over and over and over again. And let me say this, Coach, while I'm thinking about it. Let me say this. A lot of people don't look at this, bro, but you got to look at teams, at championship caliber teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and the now Philadelphia Eagles, who are a championship contender and are now officially Super Bowl champs once again. How do they keep the trenches stockpile? Even you can go to Tush Push is a rugby move. Absolutely, I agree with that, Ayo. That's a good one. But even if you go to the team that's up and coming stalwarts with the offensive line, like the Detroit Lions, you know, and other teams, you know, I would even say the Atlanta Falcons, they're on the rise and on the climb with their offensive line. How do they keep these championship caliber teams at a championship caliber level in terms of competing, especially when you're talking about in the trenches? They get one or two cornerstones on the offensive line and or on the defensive line. They pay them the big money, but everybody else, they keep stockpiling offensive linemen. And they're getting these guys on rookie contracts, knowing that there's nowhere in the world they're going to be able to pay them all. So they get these guys on rookie contracts. They stretch it out as far as they can. They make their Super Bowl runs with these guys in the trenches. And when these guys are really, really good, if they lose them to free agency, they have nothing to worry about because they're constantly bringing more and more and more in. This is how you build a championship caliber team today. You have a salary cap. Yeah, you have a salary cap, so you're limited on how many of these guys you can actually pay. And you know you're not going to, in the long run, not going to have enough money to pay all these guys, especially if you win a Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. So what do? You pay your cornerstones. You pay your main people. You pay your if you're on defense, you pay your Myles Garrett or your TJ Watts or your Micah Parsons. You pay those guys. If you're on offense, on offensive line, you pay your quarterback. You pay your offensive weapons, your quarterback, your receiver, your top,
maybe left tackle, yeah.
And you pay your left tackle. After that, everybody else is a crapshoot. If they're willing to work and if they're playing for their futures contract with somebody else, then they got a reason to come out there and incentive to come out there to play hard and to shine. If you want to keep them and you only got so much capital to keep them at, then you offer them a certain amount. If they're willing to accept it to stay there with the team, then you keep them. But the point that I'm making is the Bears have got to get into the habit, like these other championship caliber contending teams, of constantly stockpiling offensive linemen. And when you think you got enough, go get some more. The reason you do that is because you're not going to be able to keep all these guys, especially if they're very good. But this is how you get to a championship caliber, like the Kansas City Chiefs, like the Philadelphia Eagles. This is how you get to that level of success. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so the Bears, we got to do that, bro. We got to do that. And it doesn't mean, people, that this is all we need to go and get is offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Yeah, we need to get those, but and we got other positions that we need to fulfill, but we got to get those first. We got to prioritize. I thought Ryan Poles really dropped the ball coming into this year, coming into this past season, because he stockpiled all the offensive weapons, which was great. Got no problem with that. But defensively, I thought defensively they adjusted. But with the offensive line, a makeshift route. he tried to slide stuff by. He tried to do that, and you can't do that, bro. You can't get by with that, bro. Not in the trenches, bro. You can cheat with running backs. You may even be able to cheat with wide receivers, a la the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I can't name you one dude on that in that receiving core.
Joe Brady's done a really great job with Josh on that team, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Joe Brady, and I give Sean McDermott his credit too. I think Sean McDermott is a very good coach. T.O. I think he's a very good coach. We had a discussion about that earlier, but it's inside joke. but if you're going to win, you're going to win with a stout offensive line in front of you. Josh Allen didn't have any notable names in the receiving core, but he had a stout offensive line in front of him, bro. How many sacks did that man take this year? The man
like 26, 20.
Man, barely getting touched in there. 26 sacks in 17 games. That's ridiculous, bro. That's great protection that they're giving him, bro. That is fantastic.
And you know what's crazy? One stat that I read from the Chicago Bears, I think it was from X.com. They said that during the season, the Chicago Bears, they dealt with 27 changes throughout the offensive line throughout the season. That's most in the NFL. And so, like, constantly, they're just dealing with makeshift offensive line throughout the season. Whether it was injuries to, of course, Tevin Jenkins. That's also, we need to talk about transition to Tevin Jenkins.
Right.
And how the Chicago Bears are not going to franchise tag him. But, that. And then we also dealt with, Coleman Shelton's dealt with some injuries to, of course, lazy Nate Davis too. He's not on the team as well. But like specifically like that interior too, we've been dealing like with a lot of makeshift changes, man. And
and you just can't play winning football like that.
No.
You can't play winning football. There's no such thing as plug and play with people who are not good to be playing, let alone plugging, bro. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work, bro. I even saw I think I was watching Swift Sports Network. Shout out to Swifty out there, my man. And there was somebody that commented on his show in the comments that the Bears should draft what's his name?
Ashton Genty.
Running back. We talk about the offensive lineman, Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel. They say should draft Gray Zabel, which I think is a great pick for an offensive lineman. But they wanted us to draft Gray Zabel and then let him sit a year behind Coleman Shelton and learn. You see your reaction? You see his reaction, people? This is
hell no.
Kobe, do explain to the people why that would be a bad idea for Gray Zabel to sit behind Coleman Shelton and learn for a year.
I mean, seriously. Coleman Shelton, throughout the entire season has literally been getting beat like in the middle, like in the interior, pretty much the whole entire season. And I'm not too sure if you guys have go and watch that Indianapolis Colts game and then come back to me and tell me, would you want Coleman Shelton to start right up in front of your quarterback after what you just seen from this entire season? Watch the Seattle Seahawks game. How many times Caleb Williams was sacked? He was sacked 9 times in that game. And
through the interior of the offensive line.
Through the interior. And that was from Coleman Shelton's side. So please go back and watch that tape and come back and tell me if you want to start Coleman Shelton over Gray Zabel.
Go back and watch the very first game of the season against the Tennessee Titans, where the defensive linebackers, not linemen, linebackers were running through Coleman Shelton's chest and tossing that dude around like a rag doll. Got Caleb Williams running for his God-given life in his first game ever. And when I say they were tossing him, I'm talking about they meet him at the line of scrimmage. This dude, when they got done putting their heads on him, he was flying 8 to 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage on his face. That is not a guy you want a young kid like
protecting your quarterback. No.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. So, I just think the Bears fans, we got to get our heads out the cloud about what is needed on this team. First thing we always want to do is go run and get some offensive weapons. We want to talk defensive line, and all of that's cool. I don't have a problem with talking about that, but that's not the most pressing need for us right now. We need these trenches addressed.
And I think that's kind of like what Ryan Post kind of missed on. He kind of built this team from the outside instead of from the inside out. And that's how you're supposed to do. You got to build the trenches first. You got to protect. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is. That's the problem he kind of missed with Justin Fields prior to Caleb Williams coming. Is that he didn't specifically focus too much on the offensive line. He didn't really spend too much money. I mean,
like he cut all kinds of corners for our offensive linemen.
He cut all kinds of corners.
Offensive line. Who was our highest paid offensive lineman last year? It was Nate Davis, bro.
Nate Davis, yeah. And he was barely in the game.
Right. This dude only had a 3-year, $30 million contract, bro. He was only making 10 a year. When your highest paid offensive lineman is only making 10 a year, you don't have an offensive line. Because offensive linemen cost money, people.
They cost money
for offensive linemen. This guy we're talking about bringing in that I would love for us to bring in, let me not say we, I'm going to say me. The guy that I would love for us to bring in is Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. His agent has already put out there that Trey Smith is looking for 4 years, $80 million as a contract. People, that's not 10, that's 20 a year. When you pay offensive lineman, that's what you pay him. 20, 25, maybe even 30, depending on how beastie he is.
That's how much they cost.
Yeah. And for me, brother, the simplest way to address this, go get Trey Smith, who the Detroit Lions now are also looking at. Just for the record, Detroit has got their eyes looking at him. They thinking they're going to lose that Zettler dude. I think it's
Kevin Zeitler.
Yeah, Ken Zeitler. Yeah, they thinking they're going to lose him. So they're looking at Trey Smith with the possibility of bringing him in. But for the Bears,
Kevin Zeitler, he's also a free agent too.
Yeah, get me Trey Smith, get me Mekhi Becton, and in a perfect world, let's go with our number 10 pick and go draft Will Campbell from LSU, bro, as the left tackle, bro. I think you are addressing your needs, and then you can build depth from there. Then you can talk about your Grace Ables in the second round and people of that sort. You might even want to go look at the center for Atlanta. His name eludes me.
Drew Dahlman. I like him
too. Right.
Yeah.
You can go get Drew Dahlman. Or if all else fails, let's say that Trey Smith doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild type of situation, even though the Bears are on the climb. The talent is here, and I believe we just a few pieces.
We just got to get the right coaching.
Right. and I think we have definitely addressed that and got all of the right coaching that we need finally. But even if they go away from Zeitler up there in Detroit and end up with Trey Smith, yeah, we can take Zeitler. I don't have a problem with taking him, bro. I don't have a problem with taking him. I just think at some point we have got to address what is the most pressing need in Chicago, and we're not going to do that dilly-dallying around, playing with monies all over the place and trying to save a buck. We can't do that. We can't do that. Sorry, we can't do that. So let's go Chicago. We should, when the draft is done, when free agency is done, Coach, we should be leaving with no less than 4 linemen, 4 offensive linemen. I don't care whether you do it in the draft, whether you do it in free agency, whether you combine the two, at least 4 offensive linemen. 4. And I'm still curious to see where Kyron Amegaji is going to end up being, bro. I'm really curious to see what that kid is going to end up being. I really felt like he got the rawest deal out of all our offensive linemen last year because he came in unhealthy already. He was supposed to be healing up and whipping himself into game shape, but the Bears ended up, because of the need at offensive lineman, because we were so atrocious up front when Braxton Jones went down with an injury. They ended up having to throw him out there, and the kid wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah, and I don't think that was fair to him to throw him out there in the heat of battle like that. But they didn't have any choice. They didn't have anybody else. So yeah. So yeah. But yeah, we're
going to also talk about Tevin Jenkins too. They're not going to franchise tag him. They decided, of course, with his injuries, they decided they weren't going to franchise tag Tevin Jenkins for this upcoming offseason. And kind of like my thoughts on it is that I think it's a good thing for the Bears because, this guy over the course of 3 seasons, he's missed 23 games. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Even when he was playing, he was the best offensive lineman, in the game. Because he has a nasty mean streak. But at the same time, like Tevin Jenkins was dealing with all these undisclosed injuries, sometimes even off the field. Like the guy would get injured, like not even in the game. And it's like, that's availability is the best ability.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Tevin Jenkins is a great player, but he's just those injuries kept piling on and on, and as you get older and it's somebody as big as him, that's going to be not good for your longevity. And we want to find somebody who's always available, who's very durable, who's an Iron Man, somebody that's just going to be kind of like that anchor on the offensive line, because we don't want to have to keep dealing with these makeshift offensive line. There has to be continuity within the offensive line. And that was part of the problem why Caleb Williams got sacked 68 times, was part of his availability. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Plus, bringing in a guy like Trey Smith, you're talking about a 25-year-old kid. This guy's 25 years old, so he's much younger than Tevin Jenkins. He does not have a history of injuries. God willing, he won't end up with a history of those. But you do bring more stability to the position, and I agree with you 1,000%. Availability is the best ability. It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you're off injured, bro, you're no good to the team. You're no good to the team. What good would it be for the Bulls to have Michael Jordan fly high and jumping out the gym, or Derrick Rose, or Scottie Pippen, or any of these greats that have come through Chicago if they're always injured, bro? If they're always broke up, wouldn't do us any good. Wouldn't do us any good having them on the roster. Same thing here with the Bears, bro. Tevin Jenkins, I love the guy. He is a ball player. He's nasty in the trenches. I have no problem with his skill set or his talent, but availability, like you said, bro, is the best ability, and he is just way injured way too often of late, bro. Same thing we went through with Eddie Jackson last year, bro. The year before, so I wish him well. I'm pretty sure wherever he goes, if they can help, keep him healthy and upright, he's going to thrive and be great. I just know that his time here in Chicago.
He needs a fresh start, for real. He needs to go a fresh start, I think.
Yeah, his time in Chicago is up, bro.
It's over, man. Well, look into some other key free agents. There's Ronnie Stanley with the Baltimore Ravens. What's up, Real Street Sports Talk? How you feeling, man?
What's going on, Theo? That's all right. Real Street Sports Talk.
So, like I said, other free agent, offensive lineman. Of course, there's Ronnie Stanley, who played with the Ravens. He was pretty reliable with the team. Of course, Kevin Zeitler, Mekhi Becton, all those guys. That's going to be available. And Lamar Jackson with the Rams. He was also a tackle he was a left tackle who protected Matthew Stafford's blind side, and he played at least 1,000 snaps in the past 2 seasons and allowed just 4 sacks to Lamar Jackson. And, of course, Drew Dahlman, those guys. So,
to me, the Bears can get healthy real quick, bro. We can cinch up all of the holes and weaknesses in this offensive line. We can cinch up a whole lot of things real quick, bro, if we make the right moves. And I'll be honest with you. If the Bears make the right moves, and I was sharing this with you before the cast, if the Bears make the right moves in free agency and in the draft, if we draft the right picks, I give us a year, the Bears will be contenders in this NFC, possibly to make a Super Bowl run. A year. But we gotta make the right moves, bro. They gotta be the right moves. Cannot be no misses. We gotta have hits. Gotta be all hits.
All 4 offensive linemen must be hits.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Cannot play around with that, bro. We gotta make a hit.
Oh, of course. Exactly. Now, kind of going into the mock draft, switching over. Like I said, I've kind of been watching some tape on certain players, specifically this one player from Michigan, Mason Graham. If you guys don't know who Mason Graham, please go look him up on YouTube, watch some of his tape. and I was watching kind of like some of his tape kind of extensively, and like I said, of course, with the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, I think part of the reason why they won was, of course, was their dominant defensive lineman.
Right.
And watching Mason Graham and his tape, I mean, this guy has a relentless motor. He has a relentless motor. The dude can get through. He takes on double teams. The guy's able to. He's a good run stopper. He can get to the quarterback, cause a lot of pressure. And I'm like, I mean, if he's there, I wouldn't be opposed to the Bears kind of taking him.
Taking him where though, Coach? Where you got him? Where in mind do you have us for us to take him?
At number 10.
At number 10? No, we can't do that.
You ain't going past 7 though. I'm sorry.
Go, we can't do that. No, sir. Go.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not opposed to that.
Listen, bro. If we do that, we are fostering an insanity state of mindset. The definition of insanity is doing the same things you have always done and expecting different results. In other words, doing the same thing will get you the same thing. The Bears cannot afford not to address the needs first, bro. Will Campbell is an addressing of the need at left tackle. I know everybody's high on Braxton Jones, and they say he's become pretty solid, and blah, blah, blah. He's playing above average, whatever. We gave that a 3-year experience.
His PFF numbers are saying it was so good, but I think that's overrated, PFF.
Yeah, I mean, it's great when you want to look at the numbers and you want to skew the numbers and you want to see what the stats say, but the eye test tells me a different story. It tells me he's still getting bull rushed through his chest. This guy is way too big. He's that. What's that? You put down here that you were AO 6'5", 340. That's a Braxton Jones type of physique, 6'5" and 340. And smaller guys are still pushing and running through you. That's ridiculous. That's an indictment on your lack of conditioning on the lower part of you because you can't get your footing. You can't anchor. And if you can't anchor, the quarterback can't be safe. He's got the blind side responsibility, people. Caleb Williams is a right-handed quarterback. When he drops back to pass, his back is to everything on the left of him. That is where Braxton Jones is sitting at. That is his responsibility to make sure that man can stay comfortable back there. And I'm sorry, Caleb Williams was never able to be comfortable with that guy back there, bro. You gotta do something. And to me, you address this by going to get Will Campbell, bro. You gotta go get Will Campbell at 10. Sorry, no exception. What you said, Real Street Sports Talk? He said one thing you can guarantee, fellas, on the 10th straight year, Bears will win the offseason dynasty run. You can keep your stale jokes with your 1-5 division team that you think is good with a mediocre players and a coach who has to overcoach because your players are underperforming. But thank you.
Your mediocre quarterback.
Thank you. You asked for that, nephew.
I mean, if you watch, I saw Adam Mason's Adam Mason's video, and he was talking about like how what was it? They ranked like the quarterbacks, and like Caleb Williams was like ranked 28th or whatever.
Okay,
but he did his own like rankings in terms of like the numbers, like the adjusted completion percentage, all the numbers. And like when he did it, I believe what's his name was like ranked like 22nd, Jordan Love, like in terms of like the adjusted numbers and all that. Like, yeah, and that's with a good offensive line. Like, so have fun with your $60 million quarterback, bro.
Yeah. He laughing at Adam Mason. Yeah, I kind of take what Adam Mason says with a grain of salt these days, brother. We'll get into that for another time. But yeah, he kind of, he kind of not the most reliable source these days, bro.
Yeah.
But that being said, bro, Jordan Love still sucks. I'm not gonna bag off of that. I don't care what the numbers say or don't say. Real talk though. Real talk. I think Jordan Love is an above average quarterback. I think he's solid, But is this dude the second coming of Aaron Rodgers, the reincarnation of Brett Favre? No, he's none of those guys, bro. He's none of those guys. This guy, I just don't see this guy leading you to a championship anytime soon in Green Bay. I think that, and I and Tio had this discussion earlier. I think that that is a team full of above average to mediocre level players with an outstanding coach and Matt LaFleur, who knows what the heck he's doing.
Philly exposed it in the playoffs.
He knows what the heck he's doing, and when you have shortcomings on the team, eventually good teams will expose that. And especially in the playoffs, you're talking about when you get to the playoffs, you're talking about what the last top 8 or 9 teams left in the league in your conference. They're the top 8 teams left, and you're gonna catch hell trying to cheat and skate around and scheme your way around to victories going against that level of talent, man. Going against that level of talent. Tio asked us a question.
Oh, yeah, safety. We also need to talk about the safety position, especially with
Now, if we're going to address any other position other than the trenches, like I was stressing here, definitely is going to be the safety position. I love Jaquan Brisker, bro. That dude is a dog. And I would love nothing more for him to be healthy, good to go, and injury-free for an entire year. That being said, he had a huge concussion. I guess it was worse than what we realized because he never came back for the rest of the season. And at this point, I'm just concerned for the kid's health, man. I'm praying for him that the good Lord will heal him in Jesus' name and bring him back to full health. But without him there, that leaves a big gaping hole in this secondary, bro. It leaves a gaping hole in this secondary that we got to address. Well, let me fall back on that a little bit. I won't say it's gaping because I believe Terrell Smith he's filled in amicably in that position when the Bears have slid him over there. But
it's not the same as like when he's there, though. Yeah,
it does become a position of need. You do have to address that because with all the passing going on in this league, bro, we got to be able to shut some stuff down going down the field. If you can't shut nothing down going down the field, you're gonna be in trouble in this league, bro.
Especially you need like a single high safety. You need somebody that's gonna like help the cornerback.
Trying
to take the top off the defense.
But that's a good question, Tio. I think the Bears do need to address that position, but I don't think we need to maybe look at that until maybe like the 3rd or 4th round. If I'm totally honest with you, first and second round, I don't think that's a position that we have to be concerned.
First, second round, trenches.
Right, exactly. Trenches. In a perfect world, give me, if we just gonna go with the 8 picks that the Bears have, because we got 8 picks this year in this draft. We're gonna go with the 8 picks that we got in this draft. Give me Will Campbell at 10, and I believe we got the 39th pick in the second round. Give me Gray Zabel with the 39th pick, bro. I'll take both of them up front. After that, do what you will. Give me those. Sign me my 2 guys in free agency. I'm good. Do what you want to do after that.
Yeah, man. But like I said, man, I don't know if you also watched the 1920 football video with Ben Johnson. No, I think one of the reasons I was watching that, he said, I agree with you. You can find a safety in the 3rd or 4th round. Yeah, you can. But like I said, I was watching something on the 1920 football drive with the Chicago Bears. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me with Ben Johnson, he was just kind of alluding to the fact that the reason why, it was always his plan to stay in the NFC North because he talked about how he wanted to be challenged and that this was the hardest division in all of football. And, just hearing that, I mean, I think people.
Thank you, Ben, for thinking
really underrate. And people just really kind of underrate this guy's drive. They think, oh, okay, he's just the offensive coordinator. He's a good offensive coordinator. He's a mastermind. They think like he's going to be like this introverted guy or whatever. And I think that's false, based on some of the reports that I've been reading from Ben Johnson. They're saying this guy's a competitor. He has a relentless drive and he will do whatever he can to win. Like that, he has that relentless drive to win.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I watched that interview. Even during his press conference, man. Like, if you look at some of his press conferences, that dude is so passionate, bro.
Yeah.
He's really passionate. I think part of it, of course, was Dan Campbell. He's worked with Dan Campbell, and so part of it that kind of rubbed, he kind of rubbed off of that. But I mean, you definitely see the confidence oozing from this guy. I mean, this guy, he turned down like a bunch of jobs, like prior to him being hired. Like, he kind of talked about like how he gave like a list of things that he wanted from this organization. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You don't know you don't see a lot of candidates doing that, like head coach candidates doing that. Okay, these are a list of requirements I have. Okay, there needs to be an alignment, with the general manager and the head coach, and like he had like all these requirements, and I'm like, who did you know was going to do that? And that just shows you the confidence that this guy has in himself.
Absolutely.
And so I don't think he's going to be introverted. I'm like, look at who he brought in. He brought in a lot of these great coaches. He brought in Eric Bieniemy, Antoine Randall L, Al Harris, all these guys, Dennis Allen, all these guys, Dan Rouchard. These guys, man, these are an all-star lineup of coaches, And so,
what's up, Eric? I see you out there, brother.
How you doing, Eric? And so, going into this season, I mean, it kind of backs up what he's saying, because back up what he's saying, but hopefully, I don't like, get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up too crazy for the season, but that's besides the point. But based on from what I've seen from this guy, I think this guy is going to be a great head coach, and he's been preparing for this all these years. I mean,
all his life. Yes.
All his life. Yeah. He's been preparing for this, man.
Yeah. And to me, when I look at Ben Johnson, and I know, the jury is still out right now. We haven't seen him in the coaching position, so we don't know right off the bat. But I get one or two feelings from Ben Johnson. He can be one or two guys. Either Ben Johnson is going to be a very militant, no nonsense type of head coach who could come off as despondent or detached from his players because he's so militantly driven, and I think he could be very militarizing, to where he, it's almost like he's a staff sergeant or in the military, driving everybody and working them overtime, wearing them out or what have you. He could either be that guy, or Ben Johnson could be the type of guy that is no nonsense, very strict in terms of how he does things, but still amicable and still applicable with the players, to where he's able to still connect with them, and he's concerned about their everyday lives, and is there as a comfort if they need comfort and all of that type of stuff, listening ear or what have you. He could be one or two guys to me. He could be the in-touch guy, or he could be an out-of-touch guy. So, the jury is out until we see, what he is able to do. I just know this, and I was sharing this with T.O. earlier, bro. I know this. Ben Johnson may not come in here with all of the answers that he needs to have as a head coach. One thing I do know, though, Ben Johnson has equipped his staff to have all the answers that he may not know an answer to. Bringing in Dennis Allen as your defensive coordinator, that is huge, Bears fans. And you guys have no idea how huge that's going to be until the season starts, until he gets in the trenches, until he's in a situation where he doesn't know what to do. You got a guy with years and years of head coaching experience that can help him and guide him and tell him what to do. He bringing in Eric Bieniemy from a Super Bowl.
That was like so left field, bro. Like, I did not expect them to hire Eric Bieniemy. When I read the news, I'm like, what? Eric Bieniemy?
And honestly, they got Eric Bieniemy coaching in his natural position now. Eric Bieniemy was a stud running back for the Cincinnati Bengals in his heyday, bro. So now you got this guy coming in coaching up the running backs, and he's two-time Super Bowl champ, three-time Super Bowl champ, champion assistant coach with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Offensive coordinator,
Right. You're bringing in a guy like Antoine Randall L, who's played every freaking position that an offensive offense weapon-wise has to offer, bro. He brings that knowledge and that experience. You're talking about a guy who's been quarterback, running back, a wide receiver, you name it. This guy has done it. And these are the caliber of coaches that he's bringing in to help him get this job done. This is an all-star lineup in terms of coaching staff. So Ben Johnson, he knows that he's not going to be perfect. He knows he's not going to have all the answers, but he made sure he can get the answers. And that's what I love about what he's done so far, bro. Bringing in his staff, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said his team is full of ass kickers, very different than Trustman, Nagy, Flus. It's definitely time for this change. Yeah, and I agree. Eric.
Totally agree with that, Eric. Totally.
And, I mean, and in real street sports talk, yeah, respect is earned, and we're definitely going to see as the season goes on. But I'll guarantee you this: they're not going to have them slacking off. This past season, when especially in that game against the Washington Commanders, when what's his name was looking at the crowd and doing that, Tyreek Stevenson doing that, that will not happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I'll say this, Cole. It's not going to happen, and he still has a job Monday. I'll say that. I'm not going to ever say never. These are grown men. They can do what they want to do at the end of the day, you know. But will it be tolerated like it was this season? I doubt it seriously, bro.
And did you also hear about the reports with Shane Waldron? I'm pretty sure you also heard about Shane Waldron. Not going over tape with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Very, very disgusting. Like him not sitting
for an offensive coordinator, bro. You know, I understand if the moment was too big for you, Shane, but come on, bro, you got a job to do. What does your job entail? Your job entails game planning for your quarterback and for your offense so that they will be able to execute at a high level when they run up on their next opponent. So they'll be able to execute the offense and score. And you're right, T.O., that is unbelievable, bro.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely, bro. But if you're not going over game film with your star quarterback, what are you doing here? What is the purpose of being here?
You're just collecting checks just to collect checks. You're stealing money at this point.
Did you really think you could wing it in the NFL? Who wings it in the NFL? Nobody wings it at this level and is successful. Impossible, bro. Impossible. Now, there are wingy moments, quote unquote, that happen with quarterbacks and plays, you know, where they break down and you have to, you know, improvise. But that's the only way that winging it happens. You don't improvise from the word go. First snap of the game, I should have known something was wrong, and it was already a red flag to me. But I should have known something was wrong when we played that first game against the Tennessee Titans, and the opening drive, the very first time Caleb Williams steps on the field. No, not even the 3 and out. It's just the very first play. Kofi had him to come out in an empty 5-wide set. Who does that to start a game? Nobody does that to start a game. You got to see what the defense is doing first.
You would think he was a rookie offensive coordinator would do that. Empty wide set. Like, come on.
That is the most ridiculous plan of attack I've ever seen. You just threw all of the knowledge of the game to the wind when you did that. The hell with a running back, the hell with a running game, the hell with selling them the run and then going for a play action pass. The hell with all that. We just
already with the pass already. Like, come on, dude. Like,
and from the word go, on top of that, from the word go, you're in a hurry up offense mode. You got him in 5 wide. He's a rookie, mind you. Caleb's a rookie standing back there. You're asking to do this. He's in 5 wide with no running back and no additional protections for him in a position where you want him to light the world on fire against a very fresh secondary because they just came out. This is the first drive of the game or what have you. And you think you're going to get results like this? Give me 1 second, Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, but like you said, they came up with that empty wide set and like you didn't even run the ball. And like you said, he didn't even come with no max protection. And what did you expect? I think that was a sack too, right? He went all the way back. I think
like a 20-yard sack or something like that.
Like a 20-yard, 18 or 20-yard sack. Because you didn't give him no max protection. And then pretty much, of course, Coleman Shelton, like let the guy go. And Caleb Williams had to go all the way back. It was like
you mean Coleman Shelton got flung out the way?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the one where he was sitting there dancing around and he didn't know what to do.
Dancing around, not knowing what to do.
And attacked him. He just went out to somebody that Nate Davis was blocking. And
right.
Leaving the middle wide open, bro. It just that type of stuff is unconscionable. It's reprehensible, and it can no longer happen, bro, in Chicago.
And you're not. And I see why JSN said that. Like when they interviewed Jackson Smith and Jigba, CHGO, they asked him how is Shane Waldron as an offense coordinator. Dude didn't say nothing. He's like, "Is this live?" Because he knew he was going to say a lot of bad things about. He's like, "I can't say it on camera."
So, a side note, bro, did Jackson Smith and Jigba really retire, bro?
No, not that I heard of. No.
Yeah, I read a report where this guy was retiring, but I don't know if it was from football or what they were saying. You know how they'll put something out there that's clickbait.
They put some fake stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it was something I was reading about this guy retiring, man.
No, I didn't hear anything. No.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate it because I think he's an outstanding receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. But it wouldn't be unprecedented, Cole. It wouldn't be unprecedented. It wouldn't be unprecedented. Cole, let's do this, bro, in the last couple of minutes, bro. Let's go to these draft picks 1 through 8 for the Bears, and let's take a look at it, bro. Let's see what you think we should do, bro, at each position, bro. If you can pull it up, man. Can you pull it up by chance?
Let me see. The NFL draft order.
NFL draft order, yeah. For the Bears only.
Okay. I got this little tankathon thing.
Tankathon thing. You in a tankathon?
Yeah, NFL tankathon.
Okay, as long as it's not a wet t-shirt tankathon, we okay.
I don't know if you guys can see it, right? There's maybe like four picks.
Okay, these are the first 4?
Yeah. Well, mock draft from Tankathon. Well, they had a selected Kelvin.
I thought you were talking about the shirt you were wearing.
Oh, my shirt? Oh.
I saw take it. You said Tankathon. Cole, what do you know about this Kelvin Banks Jr. dude that they're talking about?
I haven't watched too much tape on him, but from what I heard, this guy he can play He can play guard or he plays the left tackle position or the left guard position. He could play either one. He's kind of versatile, based on from what I've heard. But of course, Kelvin Banks. He's played with the Texas. He was pretty reliable. I think he played for a little over 1,000 snaps. He gave it a couple sacks. 4 pressures. But I don't know too much about him. I got to do a little bit more tape on Kelvin Banks.
Yeah, I can tell you this, Cole. I don't know much about the kid, but I'm going to tell you this. Yeah. Bro. The fact that I'm looking here and the first thing that I see about Kelvin Banks Jr. is that he only played 15 games in an entire 4-year college career. That's alarming to me, bro. And that tells me this is not a pick that you want to have at 10. There's just not enough there, bro. There's not enough there, bro. There's not enough there. 15 games. We might as well be grabbing Mitch Trubisky with the 3rd pick in the draft again, bro. After one season of playing 8 games or something like that. Just ridiculous. And to me, this is one of those situations where you can't play this. We're gonna take a chance stuff. It's not the we can take a chance bowl. This is the can't miss bowl. That's where the Bears are at. That's why I am so high on Will Campbell at 10 if we stay there, Cove. Now, what do you think about the possibility of us trading down from 10, Cove, to get more picks? What do you think about that?
Well, I'll say this. If probably Will Campbell was not there, or one of the best players available is not there at the top 10 position, then yeah, I'm all for us trading down so we can get more additional picks because, like you said, we need a stockpile. We definitely need a stockpile specifically, on the offensive line. We got to keep stockpiling. And not only that, of course, with the addition of Ian Cunningham, if he does get hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's also been reports that he might be hired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. We get 2 additional third-round picks, one for this year and one for next year. So we could probably use an additional third-round pick.
Oh, but is that still going on with Ian Cunningham? I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Why is that taking so long?
I don't even know why it's taking so long, man. But yeah, they're saying he's one of the finalists for to be the GM. But I don't know what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, that's not making any sense to me. They're taking too long. And if I'm in, man, I'm out. I'll take myself out of that pool, bro.
And they're already. I mean, it's already Senior Bowl day. Like they're already scouts are already out there. GM. So I don't know why they're taking so long. They already hired their head coach
Super
already.
Bowl's over everybody that you could.
Super Bowl's over.
Yeah,
we got the Senior Bowl going on already. The Senior Bowl going on already, and then we got the NFL draft that's coming up soon. So, I mean, they gotta hurry it up. But but like I said, if Ian Cunningham does leave, we get 2 additional third-round picks.
Okay, great.
Yeah, 2 additional third-round picks, one for this year and one for next year. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to us going down from 10 and getting more additional picks, because that definitely is going to help our team also in the long run, because, it's, of course, you got to build through the draft and you got to do what you got to do to protect your quarterback. And I think, of course, that's shoring up the offensive line. And then what's his name? Real Street Sports Talk, probably getting a safety, because Jaquan Brisker's health. Maybe an edge rusher, probably getting an edge rusher as well, probably in the 3rd or 4th round. I don't know. There are a couple of players that I've been looking at.
I see here in this mock draft, they're looking at JT Whatever. Skip to Malou. JT skip
to Malou. Right, exactly. That's what I'm gonna call Skip to Malou.
What do you know about him, Cole? Is he I see he got 12.5 sacks. For his is this for his career?
I think it's just for the season. I think that's for the season.
That's awesome if that's for a season, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
I think that's for the season. For the season. And then Quinshon Judkins, I've watched some of his tape. He's pretty solid. He's he's a very violent runner. The guy, I've seen some tape from Quinshon Judkins. The guy's very explosive on the run. He's very good with yak yards. Specifically, with yak yards, he could be a yak yard type of player. Just the way he runs is very, very, very explosive. Like, if I could compare it to a player who's kind of explosive, like on the run, it's almost like he kind of runs a little bit like Marshawn Lynch.
Okay,
I've seen some of his
power.
He's a powerful runner. He's very powerful runner, and he's very explosive, man. I
think the next time we do a podcast, Cobalt, we should get into some film study on some of these running backs, because I know that Ben Johnson, he does bring a pedigree to where he loves a balanced attack,
and he loves his running backs. He loves his running backs.
So I know that may come into play somewhere down in the draft somewhere. I personally was looking at this kid named Montrell Johnson from Florida, bro. I think he would be an outstanding running back for the Chicago Bears. Power runner who's very explosive, and he's fast, but breakaway speed like nobody's business, bro. But we can get into that the next go round.
Of course, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. I heard he's pretty good. He's very big, 6 foot, 230 pounds.
And the super popular pick everybody's focusing on is Ashton Genty.
Exactly.
Everybody's focusing in on him. I think he's an outstanding running back too. What I like about Montrell Johnson over Ashton Genty is that both of them are dynamic runners. But I saw the game film I saw with Montrell Johnson running. He was doing it against top tier talent, whereas Ashton Genty, no fault of his own, was because of the conference he come from.
Like D2 college,
it was less a competition that he was running up against. You know what I mean? I'm watching Montrell Johnson do his thing against, he's doing his thing against Florida State. He's doing his thing against, who was that? LSU. I'm watching him run up on Georgia. these powerhouse teams.
Powerhouse team,
Alabama,
right.
this guy is running in the trenches and being explosive and dominant against these teams, and these teams are no slouches. So to me, that's what gives him the edge in my mind over Ashton Genty. That's not taking anything away from Ashton Genty. I mean, he played against who he had to play against. He didn't make the schedule. Oh, so no fault of his own. But I just think Montrell Johnson is, to me, he's a slightly bigger and a little more powerful of a runner, bro, for what I think we need in Chicago. This dude is a do-it-all kind of cat. And the side note, while I'm talking about running backs, let me just throw this out there. Is there any possibility that maybe the Bears, just saying, could make a trade for one Alvin Kamara and bring him to Chicago? I would love to see that too. I'm not mad at that either. A do-it-all kind of guy. Okay, who is this hater?
My God, Packers fan, dude.
More silly Bears talk. Don't you lose?
This is the Packer version of Don Burr, right?
After 6 wins and in 4th place. Well, guess what, Mr. Legit Packers fan? Check this out. You guys made the playoffs. What did they have? An 11-6 record. That was outstanding.
And you were 1-5.
Guess how many games you won in the division? You were 1-5. Guess what? And guess what? We were 1-5 too. Guess who was the only team we beat? Yeah, it's you, guy. It's you. It was a Packers fan. We beat you guys now. We beat you guys. So, I don't know what is you guys' issue. The Bears fans can't never say nothing about our team. It's the worst thing ever to have a discussion about the Chicago Bears. But you bums are mediocre and you don't shut your mouths. This is what be killing me.
And why are you on Chicago Bears channel? You scared. You scared when you're on a Chicago Bears channel.
Yeah. Now you guys want running backs because Green Bay and Detroit got Jacobs and Gibbs. You laughed at Detroit for taking Gibbs. I don't know who laughed. Right? Who laughed at taking Jahmyr Gibbs? Nobody laughed.
I didn't laugh at Detroit taking Gibbs.
You laughed at that. And Josh Jacobs, I hate to break the news to you, but Real Street Sports Talk, he is witness. He's also a Packers fan. He would tell you, I wanted Josh Jacobs in Chicago 2 years ago, bro. So I don't know where you get your information from, legit Packer fan. Legit Pack fan. You kick rocks with that noise.
Kick rocks.
We're talking about the draft, sir, which is what your team needs to be talking about. You guys need to address making splash drafts and signing splash players on your team because you got very low splash right now outside of Josh Jacobs and maybe one Xavier McKinney. But get off the channel. I don't know what else to tell you. Keep going.
He's scared because we got Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be your daddy for the next 10 years. Say hello to your new parents right here. These are your new parents right here. Right here.
T.O., holler at your people, man. Holler at your people. They're coming over here with this noise, brother. They're coming over here with this noise, brother. Holler at your people, man. They out of order, bro. They out of order.
And you know what? Ben Johnson said he really enjoyed beating you silly Packers fans. And I can't wait to have you guys till we Bears dance on Lambeau Field, all over Lambeau Field, and do the Lambeau Leap.
You mean like we did the last game of the season?
Yep.
Oh, we can do that again? Okay, let's go.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I want the season to start right now, man. Come on.
Nah. We got to get the offensive line first. I want the season to
start. Yeah, you're right.
No, sir. We can't start. We got to get ready for that, brother. We can talk here, but we got to walk here, brother.
Anyway, man, I'm gonna end. It's over. I'm over an hour right now, but
okay.
I'm gonna end this live stream. Well, what did he say now? Ben and Gimmick Johnson's a joke. He doesn't have the Arsenal in Chicago. Whatever, man.
33.2 points a game is not a joke, bro. 33.2 points a game is not a joke. This guy is seriously legit, and you guys can't stop any gimmicks that he's running. So. Next.
Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on the channel. I mean, we got a lot more Chicago Bears content coming up, a lot more stuff. We got the Senior Bowl coming up, and next week we're going to be reviewing some players You know, in the draft, we're going to be reviewing like some key players. You know, Will Campbell. We're going to be looking at some tape in the next our next podcast, looking at certain players, especially running backs too, like you alluded to. That kid from Florida, we're going to be looking at some of his tape too. But yeah, guys. Any final thoughts, Chuck, before I end this stream?
I'm just really on the upswing, upbeat, positive here, bro. For this off season, I definitely want to see where Ben Johnson's head and Ryan Poser's heads can get at working together, bro. As much as I want to give all of the power of attorney to Ben Johnson to make all these decisions, I know he's not making these decisions by himself. Ryan Poser got to show me something, bro, with the decision making on the offensive line. He let me down last year. I was never comfortable with what he put out here on the field calling offensive line, bro. And at some point, you know, we got to pull this together. But I stand on what I said. If we make the proper signings in free agency and make the proper draft picks in this can't miss draft bowl that we're going to have here, I think that the Bears could be a year away from being a potential contender over in this NFC, bro. Standing on that. But we got to make the moves first. None of that's a foregone conclusion until we make the moves. There we go, Kof. Let him know. Yeah. 33.2 points a game with the best O-line, Gibbs, St. Brown, Sewell, Laporta, etc. That's not in Chicago. Yeah. Doesn't have to be. Ben just has to build here what he built there. That's all, bro. That's all. Same stuff every year. You said all this before. Yeah, okay. When are the Packers going back to the Super Bowl? Legit Pack fan. Yeah, we'll hold our breath on that one too. You're a dominant team.
You don't have Aaron Rodgers no more, so shut up. and really, all you got to show is 2 Super Bowls with two Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
In 35 years.
In 35 years.
You may have several seats now, sir.
Sit your butt down. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming, man. Stay tuned for more videos and updates. And, yeah, man, bear down, guys.
Claws up. Bears down. Bear down.
All right, guys, man. Peace.
That's why I'm trying to make a better way. Whole new crib in a better